Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Lonely Black Star. Welcome back to Lonely Review slash Recap. Today we're going to review the Bratz movie Starrin and Stylin. This is actually my first time, well, it was my first time watching this movie. I didn't grow up watching that movie because by the time I was born, Bratz had slowly turned into 3D, and one of the 3D movies was my first Bratz movie. So it was an interesting experience watching this movie and seeing how the Bratz character used to look like back in the day. So let's get into it. So starting off, we see Chloe. She's in her car, and this car's a little dated. It's very old school type of car, which I'm not mad at because I like how like humble this movie is. Like it's just showing like not like even though the Brats are known for having high fashion all that stuff, they still very much they came from humble beginnings in a sense because Chloe, she had to save up money in order to buy a car, and it was like a used car, but she still appreciated it. And I really respect that they did that in this movie. So okay, so Chloe, she's in her brand new used car, and she's picking up her friends. She's picking up Yasmin, Sasha, and Jade. They all get into her car. Chloe drives them all to school, and they're all in class together. And I don't know what kind of teacher he is. I don't know if he's like a type of art history teacher or something, but we're going to go with that. But he's basically the teacher. He's telling them about self-expression and how different types of artists have used mediums in order to express themselves. Now he's tasking the class. He tells them all that this is now your assignment. You're going to look for any medium of your choosing, and you're going to use that in order to express yourself, in order to tell him who you are, how it is to be you. And this excites the class. They're like, and then Jade gets up and she's like, I have a passion for fashion. And he's just like, he hated. When the bell dismisses them on their way out, Jay, Chloe, and Yasmin asked them, and Sasha asked them if they can work together as a group because they work best with each other, and he agrees. But also on their way out, I don't know why he didn't say this before, but he tells them, "Oh, this assignment is a quarter of your grade," and everyone looks at him like, "Well, can we get an extension?" Because he told them that it's due on Monday, next week Monday, and they're all like, "Whoa!" Like, because everyone was telling him that we have prom coming up, it's prom weekend, so we don't want to do like try to figure ourselves out and do this homework while we have prom. And he was just like, well, oh well, you're gonna figure it out. Like whatever y'all have going on after school, that's y'all business. But y'all gonna do this homework assignment because it's a very big portion of your grade. So they all leave the classroom, and now they're at the locker, the Bratz girls, and they're all ask each other what we're going to do. Especially Sasha, because Sasha, she's the prom head committee, and she's like, I don't like, I'm so busy, like I don't know how to really do this. And while they're there, two of their male friends are also at the locker, and they're like goofing around, and they're also telling their two male friends, who is Dylan and Cameron, by the way, they're telling them like this is about this homework assignment and like how they're busy and all that stuff. And they were telling them like y'all find a way, and they leave, and Yasmin, she's at the locker still, and she's just like, maybe if we can. And she does this thing that a lot of people hate when people do. When people be like, I have something to say, and then instead of saying it, they be like, oh no, forget it. And then you ask them what, and then they still say forget it, and they like, okay, forget it, and then now they want to say something. Like that's basically what she did. And she suggests that they video themselves, and they're like, oh, that's a great idea. And so one of the male friends come back, and he heard them. He was like, oh, y'all should go to Kobe in order to get a camera. So that's where they head to, all of them, and including the boys. And they head to Kobe. He's looking for the camera, and he finds the camera for them. But before he finds it, the bell rings again, and Dylan and Cameron have to go back to their class. And before they leave, Dylan was like, I can't spend time with my girls. Like I gotta leave my girls. And they all and they pulled him back in. They was like, who you calling your girl? Like don't do that. They all checked him. And before he leaves again, he grabs Jade's face. He's like, later, Jade. Like he likes her. He likes her. That's his boo thing. He likes her. But I like how they all checked in. That was a cute moment. But yeah. So Kobe eventually finds the camera when the boys leave, and and they kind of chatting, but they tell him like, okay, we can't really discuss it too long because we got stuff to do. So they leave. They leave Kobe, and now they're in the cafeteria, and they're just and Yasmin, she has a newspaper in her hand, and she's telling them, oh, they put a new column inside the newspaper. And it's called the Daily Doings. And so they're passing the paper around. They're like basically talking about, oh, finally a gossip section because the newspaper is usually boring. And as Sasha is reading what the Daily Doings is talking about, it's basically just saying that there's some new expansion in the school, just mundane, boring stuff, and they're all just disappointed. They're like, oh, that's it, like this is boring. And so, yeah, so they throw away the newspaper, and now they're just talking about their assignment, and they're just being like, okay, who should go first? And Chloe volunteers, and so Jade and Chloe they head to the football field, and Jade is recording for Chloe, and as Jade is recording, Chloe introduces herself, and she also uses her nickname, which is Angel, because she's an angel. And she's kind of stumped in the recording. She's kind of like, okay, what else do I say? And so Jay's telling her, talk about like your hobbies, like what do you like, what's your motivation. And Chloe's talking about how she loves to draw, she likes fashion, she likes her own finding her own personal style. She also likes school, but she doesn't like the homework that comes along with it. And she's also saying recommendations she wished the school would have, like having bottled water dispenser. And also, she was saying how she might run for school council president. That's what she wants to run for. When Chloe's finished interviewing or recording herself, or Jay's finished recording Chloe, Chloe takes the camera and she's now recording Sasha, and she's in the gym while Sasha's working. And Sasha, she starts by introducing herself, and she also says her nickname, which is Bunny Boo, because she likes hip hop. And so she does say that she like other kinds of music, but she said that she also likes hanging with her buds. That's why she volunteered to be part of the prom committee. And she's also explaining how the event that not event the theme of the prom is formal fun, and she's explaining how everyone's doing their part, how they have photography, how everyone's decorating, and all that jazz. But when Sasha is finished, she then takes the camera and she records Yasmin. She goes to the not library or computer room. She goes to the computer room to find Yasmin, and they start off by calling her Pretty Princess, and that's Yasmin's nickname. And she introduced how she explains how she's new to the school, and meeting Sasha, Chloe, and Jay. They all like it really helped her with navigating, and they all do things together. Like she actually was reminiscing how they do everything together and how she loves them. And she also said how she likes to read. As she says this, something is printing out, and Sasha also adds on how Yasmin likes to write. But then when the paper gets printed out, Sasha asks Yasmin, "Oh, what is that for?" And Yasmin was like, "Oh, this is for my English homework." And Sasha's like, "We don't have English homework." And she's like, "Oh, I'm at creative writing." And then they leave. And now they're at the beach, and they're still like stressing over like what to do and stuff, but they're also trying to relax. So and also Jade is showing them this drawing that she did for her clothing design, and the girls aren't feeling it. They're like, this isn't really you. Like this. Yeah, are you good? You good, girl? And Jade was kind of like, damn, I thought this was pretty good, but nah. And while they're at the beach, Dylan and Cameron they make their way over there, and they start talking about prom and the assignment. They still haven't had their prom outfit picked out yet, so they showed their drawings to Dylan and Cameron, and Dylan and Cameron they're just making jokes and all that stuff, but it's fine. They just be like, okay, let's not worry about these things. Like let's not worry about the prom or something. Let's enjoy our beach time. So now they're in the car and they're driving and they're still recording. They were also recording on the beach. They were getting more content on the beach, I should add. But they were also recording on like in the car. And Chloe, she's driving and she gets distracted by the video camera, and a skunk just runs into the middle of the road, and she has to swerve, and she ends up going into the woods and hitting a tree. And luckily, they all survive. They're all safe, but they're all like banged up, kind of, and they're also worried about the camera because Yasmin noticed that the camera isn't working, but Jade gets it to work again. As they're gathering their stuff and kind of stressed out that this even happened, they are trying to figure out what even was in the road that caused them to like cause Chloe to swerve. And Jade finds this cat that caused them to swerve, and she's like holding it. She's like, "Oh, here, hey, buddy." She's like holding it and stuff. But eventually, one of the girls noticed that, wait a minute, this is a skunk. And then because Jay gets shocked, the skunk ends up spraying on both Jay, Chloe, and Yasmin. Because Sasha was somewhere else, but yeah, they all three of them get sprayed. And when Sasha comes back, she's just like, "Why y'all smell like that? Like y'all smell terrible." But they call the boys to come help them and also to repo the car. And Yeah, and the boys also notice that the girls kind of smell weird. Now it's the following day, and they're back at school trying to figure out like just again this project, and also the car now because now it's totaled, and also their prom outfit. So the girls they're stressed out. They just like damn like things are not like not fully going as planned, but they still have high hopes because they're planning to go to Jade's home to get their makeover and all that stuff, and also discuss more on their prom outfits. And while they're in school, they're heading out and everyone's reading the daily news. They're reading the daily doing section, and everyone's just like flabbergasted and like laughing. And so someone shows Sasha the newspaper. Well, actually, Jay is the one that had the newspaper, but she was reading it out loud, and she was basically saying how Sasha is stressed out, has a prom committee queen. I mean, not queen, has a prom committee head. Uh, is she into in way over her head? Is she too stressed out to complete the prom? Basically, kind of like bashing her and like revealing her stressed out state, which stresses her out more and pisses her off because kind of like who told y'all that? Like who's saying this? Like who's this anonymous writer? Like where y'all getting this info from? While it's like Sasha's like upset that this is happening, she sees Dylan and Cameron. They're outside and they're like they also have saw the newspaper, and she accuses them of being the ones that did it. And they're like, we don't have nothing to do with that. We did not write that. We did not. We're not. We didn't tip them. We didn't. We're not. We have nothing to do with that. But she don't believe them, and some of the girls don't believe them either. So Sasha also explains that she's only stressing because she wants this to be a good prom night for all of them, and she just wants everyone to be happy. Eventually, they head to the mall, and they told Sasha like, don't think about it anymore. But she still thinks about it when they're at the mall. But they're like, okay, girl, like we gotta let this go because we have prom coming up. We gotta pick our outfits. Shopping haul montage going on, trying on different outfits. And as they reach in the end, they Jade, she tries on the outfit. It looks like a Victorian type of outfit. It actually reminds me of an outfit from like Alice Madness Returns. If you know, you know. And I'm see if I can find a picture and like compare. But that's why I said Victorian type of outfit. But well, I don't. Again, I'm not a fashionista, so I don't even know if I'm even say if that's even the right era. But the girls, when they saw her put on that outfit, they were like, "Jade, are you okay? Because what's going on with these outfits? Like on the beach, you drew this weird kind of outfit, or you picked out, or you showed us a weird outfit in the magazine, and now you have it on this kind of like not fashionable outfit on. Like, what's really good?" And so she's like, "Is it that bad?" And they're like, "Yeah." So the Chloe and Sasha leave for a minute, I guess to go pay for their stuff. Jade is re-asking Yasmin like, "Is it really that bad?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's not that good." And so Yasmin was like, "Okay, let's start recording for you. You're like the only one that didn't record yet." And so Jade, she introduced herself, and she also says her nickname, which is Cool Cat. And she said that I start trends. I'm a like people come to me for fashion advice, including my friends. I love fashion, like that's my bread and butter. Like, like she's a fashionista girl, like to the core. When Yasmin is finished recording her, Jay's just feeling insecure. She's talking about, damn, like if I lose my sense of like fashion, like that feels like losing all my five senses. And and y'all depend on me for fashion advice and tips. So it's like, what would I do if I actually didn't know how to like be a fashionista anymore? And Yasmin is reassuring her, like, girl, like, yeah, like we like your tips and advice, but we love you as a friend. Like we love you for who you are. So you don't have to worry about that. And they hug and they leave. They all four of them leave the store. So now they're at the slumber party. I think they're at Jade's home, but they're at a slumber party. They're having fun. They're playing the music, goofing off. And Yasmin's in the kitchen cooking some guacamole. While they're at the slumber party, they kind of are recording, but the camera kind of like I think dies a little bit. But so they put down the camera and they just having fun. Jade sees the school newspaper on the table, and it's a recent one, and it's in the daily doings section. It's basically talking about Jay's business, talking about how Jay has possibly lost her fashion sense and has the fashionista fell off. And Jade is mortified by this because who could have known that she's feeling this way? Who like how like who has this information? Like where like what's good? Like what's really going on? And so, Yasmin comes out the kitchen and Jade asks her, like, have you seen this? Or was it Chloe? She's saying no, but I heard that the daily doings has become more popular in the school. It's a ring on the door, a knock on the door, I should say. And Cameron's at the door. He's kind of dirty. And he's telling Chloe, like, because Chloe's the one that answered the door. He's telling Chloe, like, your car's almost finished. Like, it's almost ready for you for prom. And Chloe's happy, and you can tell Chloe and Cameron are feeling each other. They just, she's buzzing. Like you can tell she's feeling Cameron, and also Cameron was trying to also tell them that, or tell Chloe that, I still had nothing to do with the daily doing gossip thing. And Chloe was like, "Oh, we know, we believe you because Jay just got kind of, not, let me not say exposed, but Jay's business is out there, and we know that you weren't there. We know that she didn't tell you anything about that, so we know that it has nothing to do with you, so you're good." And they invite Cameron in, and they give him a little cucumber makeover thing going on, and they record it. And they eventually send Cameron on his way, and they about to fall asleep. As they go to sleep, they're saying goodbye, they're saying their good nights to the camera. And as they're sleeping, the camera is still on because whoever had it last didn't turn it off properly, but the camera's still on, and you see someone going up to the camera and taking something out. That's important. So now the following day, on the daily doings section, there's now a new, like, there's a literal picture of Cameron with cucumbers on his face, and basically making fun of him and stuff, and everyone's laughing and all that stuff. And Cameron's pissed. He goes up to the girls and he's like, What's the meaning of this? 'Cause I was at child home. Like, this literally only happened with child. Like, why is this like being plastered over the school newspaper the following day? Like, what's going on? Like, are y'all good?" And they're telling him like, "We had nothing to do with that." And he was like, "No one forget. I'm not taking out a problem. You can go pick up your own car. Ain't none of that." And he leaves. And now they're in the library and they're trying to figure out like, yo, what's really good? Like, why are we and our friends, like, being targeted by this daily doings? Like, what's really good? Because we're not telling anyone but us what's going on with us. So what's good? Actually, someone asked who had the camera, and Chloe was like, "I have the camera." And but I did not, but the daily doings newspaper came out super early in the morning, and I had nothing to do with that. And they all take note. All three of them are taking note that, Yasmin, you're pretty quiet. Like, what's good? Like, why are you so quiet? And they also start to notice. They start to think like, wait a minute, you have barely been affected by this. Like, and then Basasha was like, but you, Chloe, you also have been affected by this. But it's like, but yeah, but look, Cameron thinks that I'm the one that did that, so it's like it's kind of the same. And so now they're all just really looking at Yasmin like, like Sasha was like, wait, you're one of the people that would know that I was stressed out about prom. And then Jay was like, "You're the only one I confided in, like, during the mall, in the mall." And so they're all just like, "Yasmin, come on, like, what's going on?" And as Sasha is checking on the camera, she realized the tape is gone. And then they're like, "What? Our assignment?" And then Yasmin just like, "Okay, okay, it was me. It was me." And Jay was like, "What? You've been leaking information to the daily doings?" And Yasmin's like, "Nah, I am the daily doings." And they're just like flabbergasted. The librarian tells them to hush up, and they were like, "No, what? We leaving. It don't even matter." So all three of them leave without Yasmin. Now they're on the bus, and all three of them are sitting near each other. And Yasmin comes on the bus, and she's like, "Do y'all have a spot that I can sit at?" And they put their book bag right there. They're like, "Girl, get away from us." And so now she's sad in the back. Yasmin, she tries to reach out to them. So with Chloe, she goes to Chloe's home, try to reach out to her, but cause Chloe's at the window, but I don't know if she sees Yasmin or if she, like, Loki sees her through her peripheral, and she just closes the her window on on Yasmin. But yeah, Yasmin tries to basically go to Chloe's home, but that's a fail. She then tries to text Jade, but Jade like deletes the message, so that's a fail. She tries to call Sasha, but Sasha doesn't pick up the phone, and you can tell Sasha feels a little sad, but yeah, and that's also a fail for Yasmin. And this gets Yasmin thinking after a few hours still. She starts typing. And now the next scene, we see Chloe, Jade, and Sasha at the spa together, and they look down. They're just sad because, like, they love Yasmin, but they're upset that she did that. But they're also taking accountability, saying like, we made fun of her news for her section of the article being boring, and we made her feel like that, basically. Which I have a little thoughts on that, but yeah, they're basically like taking accountability, but also like missing her and stuff. And while they're missing her, she comes to the spa, and they're surprised to see her, and she shows them like this half finished news article that she says she's going to post, and she says she's going to expose herself, and also take public accountability and apologize publicly to the girls for what she's done. And they all just talking about their feelings and how they felt, and they basically make amends and they make up with each other. And Chloe also points out that, oh, Cameron, he's still upset. He said he's not coming to prom, and they're encouraging Yasmin to go talk to him. And she does. So now it's prom night and they're getting ready, and it's a little montage of them being happy and getting ready together. All four of them back together as they should be. As they put on all their outfit, one of them say how Jay finally got her fashion sense back and that she looks good and all that stuff. So yeah. And as they're about to leave, they see Cameron pull up in Chloe's car and it looks brand new. It looks like even the kind of roughness you saw in the beginning, it looks brand new. Like that's gone now. Also, Dylan pulls up in a limo behind Cameron, and Cameron gets into the limo, and the girls go back into Chloe's car, and they head to prom. They get into the gym, and they notice that everything's kind of dead in there. Like, yeah, there are people in there, but then it's kind of like no one's having fun because the catering is 2 hours behind in traffic. The photographer quit, and the music ain't really doing much. So the girls, they're just like, what? Especially Sasha, she's like, "Come on now, what's going on?" But they all come together and they basically help each other with turning the party up. Sasha plays her music. Yasmin helps with the food. Chloe and Jade also help with like photography and like other stuff that the prom need help with. So all four of the girls, including some of the students, help out with fixing up the prom, and they're all having a good time. So basically, now it's a DIY prom, and one of the girls said it. So yeah, they're all having fun now, and eventually the principal comes and he announces who's the prom king, and that's Dylan. He's the prom king. Yay. And then when he announces the prom queen, it's Jade, and they're all happy for her and all that stuff. But yes, now that prom is over, the girls they present their videos to the teacher, and he gives them an A+. He loves the film, loves how they express themselves, and yeah, all's well that ends well, and that's the end of Bratz, Starrin and Stylin. So now my final thoughts. So this is, as I said before, this is my first. It was my first time watching this movie because I grew up with like the 3D version of Bratz and not like the old 2D version. Even their old design, like that was like when I saw their old design, I was shocked because like especially with Sasha because she looked hella different. I was like, oh, you're like scared. Like I was hella shocked, but I was like, oh, okay, things were different back then. But and I know people like I do like 2D animation in general because I feel like it's better. I know it can be a lot of work, but I do feel like 2D animation is better. And also with Bratz, like though I like how they currently look, I don't like the 3D animation because it's just even as a kid it looked kind of funny, but it is what it is. Yeah, I was gonna say when the girls were feeling bad for like not being friends with Yasmin for like the what she did. I don't know. I mean I feel like though yes yeah y'all are making fun of her section per se, but I don't know like saying it's boring. I don't think that should warrant someone exposing and leaking your business, especially when it's a trusted friend. Because I like Yasmin, but I don't think it was fair for like Yasmin to do that. To just yeah, they called your article boring, and I don't think she was getting revenge on them, but she was using her friend's business as a way to like make her gossip section more popular, and I don't really like that because like it makes you look kind of weird and sneaky, and like I don't like how the movie kind of made them like feel bad for that because like y'all feelings are pretty valid, like because you didn't intentionally try to make fun of her, like you thought it was a random thing, and you just called it boring and moved on, like you didn't. Okay, sorry for the cup, my phone got overheated, so but yeah, I don't think I generally don't think they were wrong for feeling how they felt. But I do like in this movie that they were like, they loved each other. You know what I mean? Like we all make mistakes. That kind of mistake, I don't know, I'll forgive, but we're all different. But yeah, I really do like how the girls really like each other. You know what I mean? Like I just love their friendship. Like outside of that incident, like I just like how I don't know because I don't know I feel like even on social media or in real life, like I feel like I see a lot of like friendship breakup or like animosity, like secret animosity or weirdness and stuff. And you kind of see that in the movie again, but the girls generally do care for each other and they're able to maturely like look past things and move on with each other. Like I generally enjoyed this movie for my first time watching it, and I recommend you guys to check it out too. So I want to say that it was cute seeing Chloe and Cameron like they danced at the end of the movie, and you can again I like how you can tell they're feeling each other, not grossed down all that stuff. Like I like that. And also Dylan, when it comes to Dylan and Jay, I think Dylan likes Jay, but I don't know if Jay. I don't really think Jay likes Dylan, but that's neither here or there. But overall, I do like this movie, and I do recommend it for y'all. So yeah, that's this and that's oh my god, that's it and that's all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope to see y'all again soon. Have a good day. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please bless y'all. Love y'all. Bye.